Bitcoin. What is going on with Bitcoin? It seems like the volatility on Bitcoin has been suppressed, which is a good thing. The old days of Bitcoin moving up 30, 40% and down 50, 60%, seems like that's done. There's a reason for that. The reason for that is a lot of institutional money is coming in, right? Because retail is not going to slow down that volatility. What happens is that there is constant demand and there are offers. And a lot of people are asking me, saying, Sergio, why isn't Bitcoin at 200,000 already? I go, patience. You have to have patience. Bitcoin has outperformed every single asset class over the last 12, 15 years. There's no ifs, there's no buts about it. Look, there are a lot of believers in Bitcoin. There are a lot of non-believers. A lot of people call it a Ponzi scheme, specifically what Michael Saylor is doing with strategy, almost buying Bitcoin on a weekly basis. That's a different story. That's a proxy of Bitcoin where you can trade. For me, Bitcoin is to be hodled, meaning you buy and hold. You don't trade Bitcoin. You can have a good time trading MSTR, MSTU, MSTX, all these things. My point is, I have been hodling Bitcoin since 2000, middle 2000. That's my initial entry price, and I didn't buy anything after that. But this year, I started following and agreeing with Michael Saylor of strategy, and I started DCAing. I don't DCA much, $100 every Monday goes into Bitcoin. Whatever price it's at, doesn't make a difference to me. Actually, at this point, I'm averaging up, which is fine. It's been going sideways, right? Well, with a decent trading range, let's say between 95,000 and 110,000. With the sell-off that we had in the stocks in April, Bitcoin did not get affected. It held. So is it also decoupling from other asset classes, which it seems like? So two things are happening. Volatility is subsiding, and there is a little bit of a decoupling. The correlation is that it existed with other asset classes. It seems like it's also going away, which is a good thing. Stability, right? That doesn't mean it's not going to explode here and then go to 150 on the next leg, which it will shortly probably, because we can't keep going sideways. Every time we go sideways, what happens? We're gathering energy for the next leg up. Well, that's what I believe is going to happen. That's why I'm watching MicroStrategy or MSTR, MSTU. We will trade those in my chat group. However, there is one other thing that I think I'm bullish on Bitcoin. I've been bullish on Bitcoin. The reason for that is the printing machines, okay? What happened over the weekend? The big, beautiful bill was passed. Basically, Washington kicked the can down the road. Potentially, I haven't looked at the CBO numbers that closely, but potentially another $5 trillion is going to be added to the national debt. I've done a couple of videos recently, as early as yesterday and the day before about this. And then you can go check it on the channel. It's called Addicted to Debt, Reality Check. Well, there's a reason for Bitcoin to be where it's at. The reason for that is what we're doing with our fiscal and monetary policy. Our fiscal policy is broken. We spend a lot more with deficit spend. We spend a lot more than we take in as a treasury, and then the Federal Reserve has to follow. So Federal Reserve puts out these IOUs around the globe, and that's called printing. Although it's not physically printing, it's called printing. We're adding money to the money supply, to something called M2. I talked about that yesterday. I talked about the correlation between M2 and asset classes. Well, there is definitely a correlation, because when there's so much money sloshing around, it has to chase a return. Is it a good thing? Is it an asset bubble? Not for me to say. But what is the reason for Bitcoin, that I'm bullish on Bitcoin, is it's a finite amount, okay? There's 21 million of them. You can't make more of it. Unlike any other asset class on the planet. Gold, you can always dig more. Stocks, you can always issue more stocks. Bitcoin, no. 21 million. One. Two, we keep printing and we keep spending. It's never going to change. It's never going to change, right? Regardless of who's in charge, the Democrats and Republicans. Look at the history of our national debt. It has grown as much as under Republicans, who are supposed to be fiscally conservative, as much as it has under the Democrats. And This, to me, is an abomination, right? I talk about this quite a bit. It pisses me off to no end that my kids' future is being mortgaged, right? They're being shackled. But here's a recent article. Nothing stops this train. This is about Bitcoin. Nothing will stop that train until we get our house in order. And after they pass the big beautiful bill, what is the answer for that? Nothing. It's going to continue. We're taking in 5 trillion, spending 7.5 trillion every single year. Okay, we're going to print more money. Okay, what's finite? The only thing that's finite is Bitcoin. And people are waking up to this movie. The movie is we'll just keep spending, deficit spend, and it's fantastic for Bitcoin. Nothing stops this train. 37 trillion emergency behind Tesla CEO Elon Musk America Party primes the Bitcoin price bombshell. I completely agree with that headline. Bitcoin is about 109,000, 108,000, whatever it is. I bought some more yesterday, and inevitable. As long as they keep deficit spending, as long as they keep printing, as long as they keep doing what they're doing in Washington, you must be bullish on Bitcoin. If you're not bullish on Bitcoin, if you already didn't buy it and say, oh, Serge, it's 100,000, it's too high. I don't think it is. It'll be 200,000 next year. It'll be 400,000 3 years from now. Why? It's because of the deficit spending. The national debt is going to go to 38 trillion shortly. It's going to go to 39 in another 100 days. It's going to go to 40 trillion in another 100 days, and on and on and on and on. Nothing will change. Elon tried to get in there with Doge, tried to fix it. Obviously, it didn't work out. Nasty breakup between President Trump and Elon. And yeah, I mean, in the article it says Tesla chief executive Elon Musk, the former first buddy, true, not anymore, who was US President Donald Trump's right-hand man until recently, has announced he's starting his own political party. I don't know, I have some mixed feelings about that. But I think that somewhere the buck has to stop. And Elon seems like the only one capable, not intelligent, not obviously intelligently, do something about this national debt. But is it a way? Is the third party the answer? Probably not. I think the answer is zero-based budgeting. Whatever comes in is what you spend. You don't spend more than that. A balanced budget amendment, something like that, is the answer. And this is going to continue. But more importantly, I'm actually more bullish on Bitcoin than ever. The reason for it is it validated my bullishness by the BBB passing, the big beautiful bill passing. All it does is add to the national debt because it's unbalanced. The government, the administration idea is we're going to cure the deficit by growing. It's not going to happen. The horse is out of the barn. It's just not going to happen. The only way it's going to happen is cut the debt. The only way we can cut the debt, do really, really difficult decisions and cut. And Trump administration tried to do it. Not going to happen. I mean, look at the CBO's estimates. It's going to add to the deficit by 5 trillion, supposedly, this big, beautiful bill. I'm certain they're going to keep printing. I'm certain they're going to keep deficit spending. And when they keep printing, what happens? M2 goes up. M2 is the money supply. Global M2 is absolutely gone bonkers on top of everything else. I'm just talking to US M2, right? And Musk's stark warnings over the spiraling 37 trillion US debt pile were a big part of his campaign, sure, but they're not buddies anymore. And I think this is just going to continue. And I have a good friend who I've done a great interview with about Bitcoin. It's on the channel. Please go check it out. His name is Sonny Poe. And, he said the same thing. Serge, he said, don't slave harder. Save in hard assets. I 100% agree. And this big, beautiful bill passing and adding to the national debt completely proves that point. But more importantly, here is this chart. I want you guys to really pay close attention to it. The blue line is the price of Bitcoin. This is current, up to date. And the green line is the global M2, global money supply. And there is about a 2.5-month lag between Bitcoin prices and M2, meaning the global money supply. Why is the global money supply going? China is pumping. Europe is pumping. They're lowering rates. They need to pump. And printers are going mad. And look at the Bitcoin price, okay? This goes back to February 2024. Well, look at how correlated it is. Well, now M2 has gone way ahead. Like you guys see that oval that I circled? Way on the upper right-hand corner. Well, Bitcoin is right at all-time highs almost. What's the next leg on Bitcoin? Until or unless M2 chart comes down to earth, which is never going to do. There are periods that it does. And what does Bitcoin do when the M2 kind of goes sideways? Bitcoin goes sideways. It consolidates, takes the next leg up. Well, just about any couple of weeks now, I think Bitcoin is going to take the next leg up to 125 to 150 range because it has to catch up to money supply. It's simple, folks. This is not rocket science. Well, to me, it's not rocket science. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue DCAing into Bitcoin because it's the only finite asset, because it's the only thing that saves me from the debasing of the US dollar. US dollar is on its ass. It has lost 12% of its value so far this year. It's the biggest in history. Your $100 is turning into trash, toilet paper. You have choices. You can go put it in a savings account, or you can just put in some hard assets. That's why the stock market is at a new all-time high. That's why gold is almost at a new all-time high. That's why real estate's where it's at. It's because of that graph, because of that global M2. They're just going to keep doing nothing different than print and deficit spend, print and deficit spend. And when they do that, you need to protect yourself. The way you protect yourself is through hard assets. And that's what I am trying to do here. And I'm doing it. I'm DCAing into Bitcoin. I don't care what price it's at. Every Monday, I'm going to buy it. And the way I do it is I buy it on Coinbase, and then I put it in my cold wallet. I don't leave it on the exchange. So that's that, folks. You have choices. You can either protect yourself, or you can watch your $100 be put on fire by the government, by the fiscal policy, and by the monetary policy. Choice is yours.